Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about Chick-Fil-A to shell out $4.4 million in cash and gift cards after customers accused it of inflating delivery prices, report says. So as we all know, the prices on these food delivery apps are inflated by not only the company with all the fees and the tips that you would normally need to shell out, but turns out Chick-fil-A is being accused of raising their prices, which is not totally uncommon for a lot of these small businesses and overall corporations to do. However, apparently they've been doing it too much these days.
Oh, you've gone and done it now!
So with that said, I want to go over everything that is being said in this article, how it actually is for Doordash UberEats Grubhub customers and their corresponding merchants, and how it affects customers and their drivers, and everything in between. So with that said, let's get started. Chick-fil-A reportedly has agreed to shell out $4.4 million to customers who accuse the chain of promising low delivery fees while secretly inflating menu prices as much as 30% during the pandemic. So something that a lot of companies do, and they do this in some cases it's by 30%, sometimes it's less, because of the commission that these companies are taking. Great example of this is that my friend has a restaurant in New York. It's a coffee shop, breakfast kind of place in New York, and because of the 30% commission, they have to raise their prices a little bit. It's not totally abnormal. They're paying 30% to Doordash UberEats and Grubhub. That's why people are saying if you get rid of tipping culture, the prices are only going to shoot up. Because if they have to pay their workers, they're going to charge you more. In this case, the Chick-fil-A raised their prices up as 30%, which is odd that Chick-fil-A is on the receiving end of this specifically, and not just all restaurants in general. But who knows? Maybe there is a point that's being brought up in this that I'm not thinking about. The legal news site Top Class Actions first reported the settlement, which comes less than a month after a group of 6 plaintiffs filed a lawsuit seeking class action status in Georgia federal court. According to the news outlet, the fried chicken chain did not admit guilt in the settlement. Why would a company admit guilt? Like, they never do. In their lawsuit, the plaintiffs said they filed the proposed class action on behalf of themselves and people nationwide who ordered food delivery through Chick-fil-A mobile app or website and were assessed higher delivery charges than represented. My question is, with 6 plaintiffs, is that really enough for a class action lawsuit? Like it says online, the minimum number of people required to have a shared claim is 40 in order for the case to qualify for a class action. So 6, and they were able to get it through? I'm impressed. It's probably because it's such a general thing that it's probably so much more than just the 6 in front of them. Eligible class members are expected to receive their settlement via a $29.25 cash payment or $29.25 gift card, Top Class Action said, adding that Chick-fil-A agreed to disclose on its app and website that menu prices may be higher for delivery orders. According to the news site, the parties also agreed to a direct email notice system to provide information to those potentially affected. That doesn't seem like a lot, but then you see the amount of people that it affected, and 4.4 million, yeah, you only got $30, but that's $30 you're not leaving on the table. So if you ordered Chick-fil-A, you might want to consider getting your piece of this, you know? Chick-fil-A and law firms representing the plaintiffs did not return requests for comment. In the suit, which Insider obtained, the plaintiffs alleged that the chain falsely advertised free delivery or low price delivery through its mobile app during the pandemic. According to the suit, Chick-fil-A was then secretly inflating menu prices on delivery orders only. I think they were starting to realize that the cost of all of these food delivery apps are way too much. That's why they tried to go with their own food delivery system. It's not so much that it was about them trying to scam you, although I'm sure they just wanted money at the end of the day, and that's really all it was. But they were like, all right, we got to figure out a way to lower our cost on this. They tried their own delivery service and it wasn't working out, or in some places it worked out, in some places it didn't, who knows. And then the concept of free delivery or low price delivery was just eating too much into their profits. The suit alleged that the chain was inflating base menu prices as much as 30% on delivery orders compared to in-store prices. Probably so that way they could make up for some of the losses that they're already incurring on a 30% commission rate per order, and the fact that the delivery fees are not as much as a thing. They probably had to be the ones to cover that. On delivery orders only, Chick-fil-A secretly marks up food prices for delivery orders by a hefty 25 to 30%, the suit says. In other words, the identical order of a 30-count chicken nuggets costs approximately $5 to $6 more when ordered for delivery than when ordered via the same mobile app for pickup or when ordered in store. And then you start to wonder why some of these people don't like tipping. They're already being marked up $5-6 per order just for the items. That's not the delivery fees, which may have gone back to normal at this point. That's not for the tip. That's just for the food. And yes, it's a luxury service. And I will 100% stand by the idea that if you can't afford delivery, don't order it. But still, you wonder why some people are tired of tipping. It's this crap right here. The suit filed October 3rd concluded by falsely marketing a free or low-cost delivery charge. Chick-fil-A deceives customers into making online food purchases they otherwise would not make. Chick-fil-A and a lot of these other places have garnered such a loyalty from their fan base. A couple of bucks more isn't really going to stop them anymore. And if you're hungry and you're craving Chick-fil-A, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go to Chick-fil-A. You're gonna order online. It's not gonna stop you. Inflating prices on delivery food has been around since before the pandemic, but lately customers are noticing extreme price inflation and they don't like it. It took you this long to figure that out?
Really?
Yeah, really?
Really?
In a recent report, Insider found prices for Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, and McDonald's were 20% to 38% higher on delivery orders made through apps like UberEats and Doordash. Restaurant chains set menu prices, not delivery apps. Yeah, a lot of people like to blame the apps themselves and like to hold us responsible for those kind of charges. But at the same time, that wasn't us. That was Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, McDonald's. We're just the fall guys at this point. Because who's the one that's gonna get the crap for it? The gig worker that's going into the store and getting ignored by the McDonald's person. The person who is delivering the food and it wasn't there as quickly as you wanted it, so you decide to either tip bait or even rate badly or whatever. Which, thank God that Dara is actually stopping the whole tip baiting aspect entirely, or at least there's murmurs about it. But still, it's about time that people start to pick up on this. In the case of Chick-fil-A, Insider discovered that the chain was marking up the price of a traditional fried chicken sandwich on DoorDash by nearly 30%. Which, if you were to go to fastfoodmenuprices.com, you can see that a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich can range anywhere from $3 to $4 depending on which sandwich you actually want, which is $1.20 if it's on the high end and 90 cents on the low end. Which is why you gotta always check the math on this, because 30% sounds huge until you actually check the math. But that also doesn't account for things like how much did they inflate the prices specifically for the building itself, labor costs, and what have you. Marked up menu prices are one of the top customer complaints DoorDash receives, DoorDash told Insider. This is one reason among many why DoorDash encourages restaurant partners to maintain delivery menu prices that more closely reflect in-store menu prices. You know, it's funny that you say that, because why are you charging a 30% commission if that is what you're expecting? You're willing to push the cost of everything upon the customer, but then when the restaurant does it, that's suddenly an issue for you? Are you insane?
Oh, so there's a double standard, huh, isn't there?
But here's the thing, DoorDash isn't exactly stopping them either. They're just giving some sort of guidance. So keep that in mind. DoorDash may not be the bad guy, but they're not exactly the good guy either. This is my opinion. It's worth what you pay for it. None of you pay me. There you go. The reality is Chick-fil-A, among many other fast food places, have been on the wrong end of not only delivery drivers who have been constantly upset with a bunch of food delivery places for being ignored, but now the customers had so much of a problem with it, they're taking to legal action. Which, by the way, if you are going to capitalize on the class action, if you're a customer on DoorDash UberEats and Grubhub and ordered Chick-fil-A, make sure you get your cut. But at this this point, a lot of customers have just had enough on how some things have been happening in the food delivery space. Sometimes the merchants are doing some shady things, which they're already doing with their own people. Now they're doing it with their customers on Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub as well. And not to mention how they treat us as gig workers. In fact, at one point I had to go full-blown Karen on one of them. And if you haven't heard about that situation, I made a video talking all about that as well. I'll leave that video in the description. Feel free to check that out. Now, I just wonder how long it's gonna be until some of these other restaurants are starting to get on the receiving end of these class action lawsuits. Like, it's one thing to put a major chain under this, like Chick-Fil-A, but is this going to happen to small businesses around here? There's going to be a lot of opportunity for a lot of customers to get paid at the end of the day for placing orders on Doordash, UberEats, and Grubhub and being overcharged for it. So keep an eye out for that. You want to make sure you're not leaving money on the table. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!